Hey guys, NJ Diz here. In this video, I wanted to help people out or give my thoughts on the Caliber Wars because a lot of the bigger gun channels on YouTube are very experienced individuals who have been handling weapons and firing guns for a long, long time. And in that time, they've gotten comfortable with the weapons that they fire most often. And I think after so long, it becomes second nature. And when they do videos, and really, caliber of a bullet, caliber of a weapon, is very basic information. Okay? And if you're looking for basic information on a gun, sometimes the larger gun people on YouTube, like I said, they're not doing it to be malicious. They've just been handling their weapons so long; it's second nature, and they forget what it was like when they first came into the arena. Um, I want to present this video to basic to new it's basic information for new gun owners or people considering buying a firearm for the first time. And when you hear caliber wars, when people discuss what size of bullet, okay, and just to give you an idea, these are the ends of the normal spectrum of bullets. There's smaller bullets and there's larger bullets, but basically these are the norms. On the smaller end, you have the 22 long rifle. On the larger end, you have the 45 ACP. And when we talk about caliber, we're talking about size of bullet, size of round, and what you're looking at here is, in this case, in both cases, you're looking at the copper top. Okay, the brass, the yellow brass here, and the silver steel here are just the casings where the gunpowder is. What you're concerned about is the actual bullet. And like I said, 45, 22. And all the gun channels will tell people that you should get the biggest caliber, the 45 or 44 Magnum or a 357, because they're what they call man stoppers. In other words, they're so big and have so much energy behind them that it knocks the guy down. Usually not figuratively, it's the myth that you're going to blow somebody out of their boots is just that. It's a myth. But there's a lot more energy, a lot more force when this contacts somebody, obviously, than when this does. It's the difference between throwing a bowling ball at somebody and a marble. But for new gun owners, what you guys have to realize is that with this, when this is fired from your weapon, there is going to be uh, a lot bigger blast and a lot more recoil, a lot more kick to the gun, blowback on the gun, than when you fire this. And the problem with that is that the harder kick, the harder recoil, and the bigger blast, the bigger volume from it, causes a lot of people to flinch or wince or do a funny grip or pull of the trigger that throws off their shot. And you might go higher than you want, lower than you want. It might miss the target entirely because you flinched. You closed your eyes, and that's not the best thing to do when you're firing a weapon, is close your eyes. So they'll tell you to get the biggest caliber because it's a man stopper. And I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you to get the biggest caliber. I'm not going to tell you to get the smallest caliber. I'm going to tell you that you need to go either to a friend who has guns, to your local range where you can rent different guns and try them out. You need to try them out. You need to figure out what works best for you, because that's what this is. A gun is a very personal item. You're betting your life on it. You're entrusting your life to your handgun. And you need to make sure that you can control it and you can use it properly, because if not, it serves no purpose. Okay? Even though this round, the 45, is so much bigger and the 22 can literally fit inside of it, Okay? Even though it's bigger, this round, it's not going to it's worthless if you fire it and you flinch and it goes over the bad guy's shoulder. Now you just pissed him off. This, on the other hand, if you can fire this, if you can fire this straight and you can put the bullet on the target, it's going to be a lot more effective. Loud bangs sometimes don't work. Okay? If somebody charges you, you want to have a lot more than a loud bang. You want to be able to hurt them so they stop. So you need to figure out what caliber is best for you. And don't listen to these people when they say that, if you have a 22, you might as well have nothing. That is a horrible thing to say, because this, as small as it might be compared to the other calibers, is better than nothing. Okay? A knife is better than nothing. A closed fist is better than having your hands tied behind your back. Something is always better than nothing. You need to find out what's most comfortable for you, what you can control. Now, that being said, well, you might think to yourself after watching some of these videos that, oh, well, it's not going to do a lot of damage, and people are going to get up, and then they're just, I shot them with the 22, and now they're going to be pissed, and now if they weren't going to kill me before, now they definitely are. No, because you're thinking of, I think people get into that mindset from watching too many movies. We're dealing with human beings here, okay? You're not dealing with the Terminator. You're not dealing with the living dead. Okay? You're dealing with one guy who's most likely coming into your house to rob you. He wants your cash, he wants your jewelry, he wants your plasma TV that's sitting on the table. He wants something that he can sell and make money off of. Usually, people, a majority of times, people that break into your home are just looking to steal from you. There are times when people do home invasions specifically to terrorize people in their homes, or to rape somebody, or to kill somebody, okay? But a majority of times, unless you're like Scarface, and you're running a drug empire and you have 10 people beating on your front door with machine guns, a majority of times all these guys want to do is rob you and get out. Human predators are no different than predators in the wild, like big cats or sharks. They want the big score, but they don't want to get hurt in the process. Now, some people might say you need a big caliber because just having a gun doesn't scare people away. That you'll hear that sometimes, that even though the homeowner or whoever was in the house screamed out, "I got a gun," that the person continued to kick in the door, or continue to break glass or whatever, because they don't know. If they can't see that gun, they don't know if you're telling the truth. Because the bottom line is, anybody can say, "I got a gun." Anybody can say that, okay? But when they see that in your hand, they're going to think to themselves, "Whoa, wait a minute. I don't want to get shot over this guy's crappy stuff." There's a ton of houses that probably don't have guns that'll be much easier targets than you, okay? And the bottom line is, that's what happens. Is the fear is enough. A warning shot is usually enough. You don't get me wrong. You absolutely have to have the mindset and be prepared to shoot somebody and potentially use deadly force. You have to have that mindset. If you can't get into that mindset, do not own a gun, because if you can't shoot somebody, I guarantee you they'll be able to wrestle that gun away from you and shoot you with it. So you have to have that mindset that if it comes to that, you need to be able to put a couple bullets into somebody. But the fact is, we're not dealing with Terminators, okay? When somebody gets shot and that bullet goes through them, and hits a bone, hits an artery, just rips flesh, and they start bleeding out, they don't want to stand there and get hit again. So they're probably going to run away. Okay? You don't need the 50 caliber Desert Eagle or the big 45 to do that. And if first of all, if you don't have a gun, if you do decide to buy one, you must join the NRA. You don't need to spend the $1,000 to do the lifetime membership. Just spend the $20 or $25 for an annual membership every year. But you need to recognize that you have the rights to own a gun, and you have the rights to even think about owning a gun because the NRA is there, because the NRA is working for us and defending the Second Amendment. If it wasn't for the NRA, we probably wouldn't have any gun rights in this country. We'd be like Britain or the rest of Europe. Okay? But when you become a member, you'll get your choice of magazine as part of your, as which is included with your membership dues. Okay? And a lot of people pick the American Rifleman, which is an excellent magazine, great gun reviews, great articles, and you'll hear from the president, vice president of the NRA. A lot of really great stuff. But one of the most interesting parts in the magazine, and the one that pertains to the discussion on caliber, is the Armed Citizen Report, which is usually in the front of the book. And they're true stories of regular average Joes and Janes, like, you know, you and me, that because they had a gun, because they had access to a gun, they were able to stop a crime, save somebody's life, or stop something from escalating to the point where something really bad happened. And the more and more you read it, and the more accounts you read of people stopping crime, you'll always hear basically low calibers involved. Okay, you'll hear about the woman or the man that was awoken in the middle of the night and somebody's breaking into their house, or somebody's kicking in their door, or, you know, something to that effect. And it doesn't say that they ran to the bedroom, usually. Okay, I'm just going for the majority. Usually it doesn't say that they ran to the bedroom and pulled out their huge 50 caliber, you know, two-handed Desert Eagle or some nonsense like that. It usually says that the guy ran to his bedroom in his nightstand drawer and got his 22, or she went into the kitchen and got her 38. You just want to instill fear. I don't think any of us really want to have to kill somebody. And if you can frighten somebody away by shooting off a warning shot or just flashing the gun in general, that's what you want to do. Then call the police and let them do the work. If your life is in danger and somebody's still charging you, then you need to take them out. Okay? Nobody wants to have to do that, but if it comes down to you or me, it ain't gonna be me. Okay? Once you come into my house, you're fair game. Okay? Kind of like bugs. And that's what I liken it to. You know, if you're outside, I'll generally leave you alone, unless you get in my face. But when you come into my home, then you're open to smack and smear. Okay? Then you cross the ultimate line. You're invading somebody's castle, as it were. Okay? You need to be comfortable with what you can fire. You need to be able to put lead on a target and hit your target more than once. One lucky shot, there's always the possibility that it's not going to stop them. So you need to be able to consistently hit the target. And if you can do that with a 45, that's great. But if you can only do that with a 22, that's okay too. Like I said, you're not dealing with the Terminator. You're not dealing with the undead. You're dealing with people who want your stuff and don't want to get hurt. That's the bottom line. Because if they go to the hospital with a bullet wound, it's standard procedure that the hospital, the doctor, has to report any kind of gunshot wound to the police department. They don't want that, okay? Criminals might break the law, but usually they're not totally ignorant and stupid. We think they are, but, you know, they're decent at what they do, even though it's bad, okay? They don't want to have to walk into the hospital holding their arm with a gunshot wound. What are they going to say? I was walking down the street and a bullet ran into me? You know, come on. So you need to fire what you're comfortable with. Whether it's a 45, a 44, a 380, a 9mm, a 22, a 50, it doesn't matter, okay? What matters is that you can control it. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to try and answer them. Um, don't be talked into something. Buy a gun, buy a caliber that you feel comfortable with. It doesn't matter what anyone else tells you, because you know what? They're not going to be the ones that are there that night when somebody, God forbid, when somebody kicks in your door and runs at you or threatens you. They're not there. You are. And you need to know that you can control this gun, and you can shoot accurately and put lead on the target. Hit your target, hit your mark. Okay? That is what you need to know. That you have to be comfortable with your weapon and not be so worried about what other people think or say. Um, I hope that this has been informative. Like I said, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. I'm always here. Uh, some of the bigger guys that have 50,000 subscribers, while I would love to be there, I'm not there. And, you know, I'm in no rush to get there. If I can help one person one time with one question, I'm happy. I served my purpose, okay? So that's all it takes for me. So have fun, be safe, practice with whatever you get. Try and get over your flinches, your winces, your squinty eyes. You know, be the best marksman that you can be. It might save your life. Okay? Take care, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.